Have you ever noticed this? You go somewhere new, take a sip of water, and it tastes, well, different. It seems like a simple thing, right? Water is just water. But today, we're going to get into the really cool science behind this everyday mystery. So yeah, let's just dive right into that big question. Why does water taste totally different from one place to the next? You know exactly what I'm talking about. At your own house, the water from the tap just tastes like, well, water. It's your baseline. You don't even think twice about it because it's just what you're used to. But then you check into a hotel room, maybe you're a little thirsty from traveling, you take a sip, and something is just a little off. It's not bad necessarily, just strange. And if you travel to a whole new city, the difference can be huge. Sometimes the water is amazingly crisp and refreshing. Other times it might feel a bit heavy, almost kind of chalky. So what on earth is going on? Well, the truth is the answer is kind of hiding right there in the water itself. See, the water we drink is never, ever just pure H2O. It's all the other stuff that's in the water that makes all the difference. All right, let's break this down. The water that comes out of our taps is actually loaded with tiny dissolved minerals that it picked up from nature. You can almost think of them as a natural seasoning. The most common ones you'll find are calcium and magnesium. Those are what can give water that slightly hard or minerally taste. And sometimes you'll get sodium, which can add just a tiny hint of saltiness. And you know, scientists actually have a way to measure the total amount of all this natural seasoning floating around in our water. It's a really key idea for understanding why water tastes the way it does. And it's called total dissolved solids, or just TDS for short. Basically, this measurement, the grand total of all the dissolved stuff in the water, is probably the single biggest reason for its unique taste. And this perfectly explains something you've probably heard of, hard water versus soft water. Super simple, really. Hard water, that just means it has a high TDS level, lots and lots of minerals, which gives it that heavier, more noticeable taste. Soft water, on the other hand, has a really low TDS, which is why it usually tastes much smoother, lighter, and sometimes maybe even a little flat. So that brings up the next logical question, right? If it's the minerals that define the taste, where is the water even getting them from in the first place? It all comes down to the water's incredible journey. Think about it. As water flows through rivers or sits in lakes or filters deep down into the ground, it's constantly moving over and through different kinds of rocks and soil. And along the way, it's like a little collector, dissolving and picking up this unique mineral signature, almost like a passport stamped with the geology of that specific region. But hold on, nature isn't the only one fiddling with the flavor. Before that water gets to your glass, it has to go through a treatment plant to make sure it's safe. And disinfectants, especially chlorine, are often used to kill off any bad stuff. But as I'm sure we've all noticed, chlorine can leave behind a pretty distinct taste and smell. You know, that faint swimming pool vibe? So we've got minerals from the ground and we've got chemicals from treatment plants. But what if I told you that maybe the biggest factor of all isn't actually in the water at all? What if it's in your head? Yeah, our own brains play a massive role in what we perceive as taste. Temperature is a huge one. Let's be honest, ice-cold water just tastes fresher, right? Smell is another. If water has even a tiny odor, our brain mixes that signal in with the taste. Even your expectations or how thirsty you are can totally change the game. I mean, think about it. When you are absolutely parched after a long day, any water tastes like the most amazing thing on the planet. Okay, so this all leads to a really practical question. If you're not a huge fan of your home tap water's particular flavor, are you just stuck with it? No way. There are actually some super simple things you can do. So here it is, a super easy 3-step plan for much better tasting water. First up, use a water filter. A simple pitcher filter is perfect for getting rid of that chlorine taste and other impurities. Step 2, chill it. We just talked about how much temperature impacts our perception, so keeping it cold in the fridge makes a world of difference. And finally, use a clean bottle. This sounds so obvious, but any leftover gunk or residue from a previous drink can completely mess up the flavor of perfectly good water. So the next time you're in a new place and you take a sip of water, just take a second to really think about what you're tasting. Because now you'll know it's this amazing, unique mix of local geology, a specific treatment process, and of course, your own perception. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Where was the best tasting water you've ever had?